So hello Redwolf airsoft. Today I'm gonna make the video of the problem that I have with my gun, so with the upgrade, as you asked to show the problem. So here I have the upgraded piston, so the black piston Raven PDI, the black cylinder Raven PDI, the piston of Raven, a spring, short one, so it can't give me more than 350 FPS. I don't even think it can give me 350 FPS. So a very light spring, lighter than standard in the gun. So it's not even working with this one. So I'm using this one just to show that it's not the spring that is a problem, so not the heavy spring that the problem is. Spring guide and cylinder head. So just gonna put it all together again, and then I'm gonna start disassembling the gun. So my Ares AW338. Right now there's a standard cylinder in it, so the grey one, as you can see. I put it in, so I changed them already several times just to try other things, but nothing of it works. But the normal cylinder still works, so I can still pull it backwards, get it back forward, no problem, shoot, once again, nothing, no problem. So now I'm gonna disassemble the gun, so I'll just start taking the scope off. So screws are off, and then it all comes loose, like this. So I'm gonna first disassemble the little slide to bring in the BBs. I'm not gonna remount it for the test because it made no difference. I tried both, and for the moment I'm shooting dry just for the test, so I'm not gonna put it on. It just doesn't make any difference. So it comes loose very easily. I have no feeding problems. Other people have, but I never had. So I'm glad that is no problem. So I'm taking off the trigger mechanism, which is still in a good condition because it still works with my standard piston. So my opinion is that the trigger mechanism is not damaged, luckily. So train goes loose. So little screws. So as you can see, the sear, it's a 45 degree sear, still works, no problem with it, so it's not damaged at all, so that doesn't seem to be the problem. So now normally the cylinder comes loose like that. Getting used to it to screw everything loose, because I did it several times already with no result. So I know the drill for now. So now switching the trigger bolt onto the black PDI Raven cylinder. If it wants to. Screwing the bolt back on. Like that. Oops. Putting a feather, which is not always that easy. It's on, so putting this back on, this little thing, it's handy, but don't quite need it for the test. Just doing it to make the full assembly again. Still works. So now putting the cylinder back in, right up. So it's on, and here is the feather, slide, piston, so everything is in the right place. Then putting back on my trigger mechanism, so just placing it onto the gun, putting these damn little screws back in. Screw it on. All screws tight. So trigger mechanism is back on the gun. Just the little metal part has to be pushed in. which is not hard to push in because the feather is very light. Yeah, it's the spring guide stopper, that was it, spring guide stopper. So, putting back together the gun. So for the test I ain't putting inside the screws to hold it because it makes no difference. So, gotta hold it a little bit. So now when I push backward, so I can pull it backward, no problem. It stayed just like the other one, no problem at all. But then when I want to push it forward, I push and it isn't going forward. So as you can see, I push, it doesn't come forward. When I push a little harder, slam fire. So doesn't look very good. I'm gonna put in the screws because it's a little loose. So I'm gonna put in the screws to show, even with the screws in, the problem is still there. So just a second. So that seems to be the problem. Yeah, found the problem. So I can't put in the screws because the ball, the slide to bring in the balls isn't on the gun. But no problem. So you already see me testing it. Normally I don't put the gun together to test it, so I just hold tight my gun, the upper part, the upper receiver, just hold it tight and then pull, and so pull it backward, stays there, can't push it forward, slam fire. So that is the problem I have, slam fire all the time, even with this light spring, which can't give me even 350 FPS, and the standard one gives me about 420. So it's just weird. It's like my piston always passes my trigger, passes the sear of my trigger. So I don't know what the problem is. Tried finding a solution, haven't found one yet. I just don't think the cylinder set does work on this gun, or at least not without the PDI trigger that will come out, I don't know, maybe in a few weeks or months. They're working on it, but the cylinder is out for some time already, and it's weird, it just won't work with the standard trigger mechanism. So this was my video to show you that there's a problem with make it work. So I'll just put in my original cylinder again and start using it, and I hope that right now I given you enough information to find a solution for this problem. So I searched for forums on the internet, haven't found anyone who has installed this kit, so can't make a comparison with someone else if he had trouble too. So yeah, for the moment it's the standard cylinder, nothing else. This is the video. You see there's a slam firing problem, can't solve it, tried all sorts of spring, very light, very hard, nothing works. Standard cylinder keeps on working. Thank you.